Today we are interviewing Edna Johnson. Today's date is July the 5th, 2021. The interview in which you are about to participate is part of the Wood County Historical Commission's project to record the history of the common schools of Wood County, Texas. The content of this interview will focus on your experience at Macedonia Common School. What is your full name?
Edna May Francis Alexander Johnson.
What schools did you attend in Wood County?
Just the Macedonian and the Mineola High School, couple of months.
Do you remember what the highest grade was that was taught at Macedonia?
No, I don't.
Okay. What did you call the lower grades, grades 1 and 2?
Primary.
Do you know how Macedonia got its name?
No, I don't.
Okay, I don't either.
I heard Redland, all I heard.
So
Somebody said it was Macedonian.
So when you were a child, did you always say you went to Redland School?
Yeah.
Okay. How old were you when you started school?
Probably about 6.
Do you remember what year that was? I can probably count from 25 on to up to 6. So we figure it was probably 1931.
Probably.
How did you get to school each day?
Walked through the woods.
Well, how far was it?
Probably about a mile and a half or 2 miles. Probably about 2 miles.
Did you walk down a road or a path?
Through the woods.
Where did you live in relation to the school?
The school is here. We live back that way, I think.
Okay, so you lived south, back
Yeah.
south? Okay. Where was the main road? Was it in one of these roads that exists now?
It come down that hill and went, the school was back here.
Right.
And went down in front of the school. And went on over.
So it went in front of the school. Did it come by the church?
No, the church was built like here and facing that way. Well, the road went between the church and the school.
Okay. And what I didn't note was where we are interviewing today, we're interviewing at Macedonia Church. The school is no longer there. So when she's pointing, she's pointing west. So the school was west of the church. What were the roads like? Were they dirt?
Red dirt road.
So is that why this area is called Redland?
I guess.
Because of the red dirt? Well, did some of your classmates ride horses?
Huh?
Did some of the classmates ride horses to school?
I don't know.
You don't remember any horses? Okay. What did you do if it was raining?
Stayed home, I guess.
Well, do you remember any big snows or anything? Did it snow a lot when you were a child?
Yeah, I remember big snows.
Well, did you stay home when it snowed?
Probably did.
Okay. Was there ever a tornado while you were at school?
I don't think so.
Do you remember any tornadoes as a child?
No.
Did you know of the school ever catching fire?
I didn't know it if it did.
What time did school begin each morning? 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock?
8 o'clock, I guess.
What time did you get out each day?
Probably about 3.
Did you ever have to miss school to work in the field?
No.
Did the boys? Did your brothers ever have to miss school?
Yeah, they missed school to pick cotton.
Okay. Do you remember any of your teachers?
Well, I can't call them right now.
Okay, I've got a list. In 1934 and 35, do you remember a man named Scott Shepherd?
He probably taught the older,
Okay.
the higher class.
Okay. Do you remember O.C. Coston? C-O-S-T-O-N.
He taught 5th grade.
Right. What about Dolly Newman?
Yeah, I remember her.
Do you know what she taught?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you remember a man named Mr. White?
White?
His initials were D.E. White.
He was the singer. He was, do you remember him? He was the guy that he would teach a singing class, but not at school.
Oh, okay. Okay. Adele Browning.
Yeah.
Do you know what she taught?
He was the principal.
Oh, it was a he. Okay. Principal.
But he taught, I think, the higher class.
Linsell Yarborough. Linsell Yarborough.
Yeah, I remember the name, but I don't remember what he taught.
Oleta Riddle.
Yeah, she was one of the lower teachers.
J.A. Swindell.
I remember the name.
Okay. Mrs. Russell.
Who?
Russell. Mrs. Russell.
What was her name?
R-U-S-S-E-L-L. Russell.
She didn't have a first name?
No, it says Mrs. W.E. Russell, and that's all it has.
I don't remember that.
Okay. Totsie Rainwater.
Yeah, I remember her.
Do you know who the trustees of the school were? I'm going to tell them to you. J.H. Turner. You know who that was?
Yeah,
W.E. Alexander.
that was my daddy.
Yeah. L.I. Dean. D-E-A-N.
Who?
L.I. That's all it's got. It's got his initials. L.I. Dean. D-E-A-N. Well, that was good. You remembered most of those teachers.
That all of it?
No. Let's see. Where am I? Back down here. So there were men and women teachers. Were most of the women teachers in the lower grades?
Yeah,
And the men taught the upper grades?
I think so.
Okay. Did you ever pull any tricks on your teachers?
I didn't, but the rest of them did.
What'd they do?
I don't know.
You don't remember any of them?
Lock them out and lock the door where they couldn't get in. And
Well, tell me a funny or interesting story about one of your teachers. Like, did they get stuck in the snow and couldn't get here and y'all didn't have school or something like that?
no, when I was in the primary school, I had seemed like it was Beulah Paget. You don't have her name down there, do you?
No, but that's
She
okay.
got married, and that was kind of exciting for us.
Well, did she get married here?
I guess so.
Okay. So y'all got to go to her wedding?
No,
Oh, you just knew she was getting married.
No,
Well, did she have to quit teaching school?
I don't think so.
Because sometimes they said you had to be unmarried if you were a woman to teach school. Did you receive a list of supplies you had to bring to school at the beginning of each year?
I don't think so.
Who were some of your friends?
I forgot them all.
You named this bunch the other night.
Huh?
You named some the other night. Some of these right here.
It's Amalove Turner.
Yeah.
Sybil Hardy. Edna Ritchie. Did one that wrote it down?
Those are. And who else? Sybil Hardy, and then I think Margie Burns.
Margie was later. She didn't come on when I,
Okay.
in this class. And
Okay. Well, turn that picture around to the camera and tell us what that was. What? And you're right here. This is you, the shortest one right here, and you're dressed in, it looks like uniforms. What were y'all doing that day?
probably playing ball somewhere.
What kind of ball was it?
Volleyball.
Volleyball. Well, did you play other schools?
Yeah, the team did.
Well, where did you play? What schools did you play?
Hawkins is the one I remember.
Okay, did you ever play Mineola?
Probably did.
What about Pine Mills or Haynesville? But you remember Hawkins. And who was your volleyball coach right here?
You know, I can't remember her name.
Well, they've got it down that says Oleta Reed, but on this another paper it says Oleta Riddle. Do you remember which one it was?
It would be Reed.
It was Oleta Reed? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about this picture right here.
Now, I can't remember where we were playing ball somewhere, probably in Golden or Mineola one.
Okay.
I can't remember which. Probably volleyball.
Well, where was that picture made?
Between Mineola and Quitman is that park.
At the roadside park between Mineola and Quitman. Okay, show that, turn that around and show it to the camera. And this is Edna right here. And some of the others are Margie Burns. This is Edna's brother, Gerald Alexander. That's her other brother, Thurman Alexander. And who else is on there that you know, ain't Edna?
Can I turn it
Yeah,
around?
you can turn it around now. Is Sybil Hardy on that one?
Yeah, she's on there. Right in the middle, right there.
Okay. So did you play on the ball team or did you sit the
I
bench?
mostly watched.
So you sat the bench? You sat on the bench?
I kept it down for them.
Okay. And what I want to tell everybody that table and bench is still there at that roadside park. And we made her picture there, what'd we say, 75 years apart? You know, because she was probably about 13 right there.
This is Oleta Reed.
Okay, so that was your coach.
This is Adele Browning.
And Adele Browning, was he the boys coach?
He was a teacher, that's all I know.
Okay. Well, tell about some of the things you and your friends used to do. Did you, what friends did you play with out on the playground?
I played with all of the kids.
Okay.
Played out.
Well, tell about, I think you said something about crawling under the stage.
What?
You crawled under the stage from the outside.
Oh, we crawled under.
Now hold that picture up, and then you can turn it back
This is
around.
the north side, but this is the top front.
Okay.
But the back, the back of the stage is not. I mean, the back of the school is not here. It was on out here.
Okay.
Where's the door? This
Yeah, that, I think you said that goes to the stage, to
This-
the,
goes into the auditorium.
and it looks like there are some kids out playing Ring Around the Rosie or something like that. Did you play that game?
Probably. This side of the school was kind of slanting down, and when it iced up, the kids that had them scooting down there, sliding down with the ice.
Well, did you slide down?
I scooted down.
Oh, you scooted down, okay. Well, tell us a little bit about the school. You drew me, you did a little sketch here of the inside of the school, and you said that, tell me about the classrooms, where they were. And you can just look at it to tell.
To go in from the side, the little classes were down here. This taken out was taken out. Auditorium when they needed it, but this is where the primary and first grade went.
And then where's the second and third grade?
Right here,
And then the fourth and fifth.
yeah.
Well, where's the stage? The stage. The stage, where's the stage?
The stage.
Stage. You said there was a
Oh.
stage.
It was right in here.
Okay. And where was the sixth and seventh grade?
I guess that was it.
Okay, and then the eighth grade, and we're not sure that Macedonia went all the way to the ninth grade. But the front of the school is where? Where's the front you're calling?
This
Okay.
is the front.
Those were these wide stairs. There were some very
It was-
wide stairs at the
Yeah.
front of the school. But this is what they're calling the front of the school. Okay. Where was the well? Did y'all have a well?
The well was right down about halfway between here and the school.
Well, did you have to go draw water? Was that the kids' assignment to get water, or did the teachers do it?
I don't know.
But you never had to do it, huh?
The well had I think at one time had a pump on it and it had
Oh, okay.
things where you can drink, get your drink.
So it was a hand pump, and
I don't know. I don't remember that pump.
how large was the school lot? Would it encompass just from the halfway to the church on back? How big was it behind the school?
I don't know. We had a basketball court and a volleyball court.
So when people came to play volleyball, other schools, they played outside.
Yeah.
Y'all did not have a gymnasium or anything like that. Okay, and you had to play in the daytime. Because
Yeah.
there were no lights out there, were there?
Yeah.
So, where was the playground in relation to the school?
All around the school.
Did you have was there a swing set at the school? Swing?
A what?
Did you have any swings when you went to school? Did you swing? Swings
I don't remember any swings.
or a seesaw or a merry-go-round? You don't?
Uh-uh.
Okay. What did you do at recess?
Well, they had the basketball, and had a volleyball court.
Did y'all play games?
But sometimes we play all line up on the, I don't know what they call it, ring around the roses,
Okay.
whatever.
Did y'all ever play Mother May I and stuff like that?
I don't remember that.
Okay. What do you have any memories of playing out on that playground?
Any what?
Any other memories of playing out on the playground?
Not much.
Did you have special programs or parties at Christmas?
Had, yeah, sometimes we have a special program on the stage.
Okay. Did the parents come?
Everybody come if they wanted to.
What about at Thanksgiving? Did you have Thanksgiving programs? Did you dress up like pilgrims and Indians?
I don't think so.
What about Easter? Did you have any special Easter program? Or was that at church?
Easter's, I can't remember that.
Okay. What about Labor Day? Did you go anywhere for Labor Day? Did you go to a parade?
But it wasn't Labor Day.
Armistice Day?
Armistice Day.
Okay.
They had parades in town, and we went up there sometime.
Now, what town was that?
Mineola.
Okay. Were there a lot of people at those parades?
Yeah.
Would you say thousands?
Probably.
Okay. The pictures
You know,
I've
the streets are full of
yeah, the
watching
pictures
the
I've
parade.
seen, there were thousands. How did you celebrate the end of school, the last day of school?
We had the parents would have their, what you call it, they bring their pots, you know, a couple of pots, and make big stew in them pots.
They'd bring their wash pots?
Yeah.
And what kind of stew did you have? Was it chicken or venison or?
Chicken, whatever we had, whatever they had.
Did they do corn on the cob back then?
I don't remember that.
Okay. But they big pots of stew. Well, did they give you any awards or certificates at the end of school? Did y'all get perfect?
Not to me.
Well, did you ever get perfect attendance?
One time.
Okay. Was there any organization like the PTA, like the parent-teacher organization? Did your mom come to school to meetings of other mothers?
Not that I know of.
Did you ever put on programs for other schools?
No.
Did any other school ever get together with Macedonia and put on a program?
Well, it probably did, because we had, several times we'd have somebody, usually the school kids would practice on a play, and they'd have it on the stage.
Okay. Do you remember what plays Any of the names of any of the plays?
No, I don't.
Do you remember dressing up?
I remember the ones that was in the play had to dress different.
Okay, but were you in any of the plays?
No,
Okay. Did you play in any sports?
no.
You did. You set the bench.
I tried to.
Okay. But you played volleyball. Did you play basketball? Were you on the basketball team?
No.
Just the volleyball team. You were on the volleyball team?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember how you got to other schools? Did y'all go on a bus? To the
They did. I wasn't that big of a sport thing.
Well,
They went on the bus.
how did y'all get to the park here?
Not on the bus. Maybe it was on the bus. I don't remember. I don't remember where we were playing at.
Well, did Macedonia have a school bus?
No.
Okay. A lot of times what they did, they would borrow other schools' buses. So do you think you probably went in people's cars?
Went in cars for that.
All right. How was your school heated? How did y'all get heat in the wintertime?
Seemed like it was wood.
So you had a wood stove?
And the boys cut the wood and seemed like, I believe we had a heater.
Okay. A wood heater?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, how did you stay cool? Did y'all have
Fan.
Well, did you just open the windows?
I guess, yeah.
Did the school have electricity?
You know, I don't remember that.
Do you remember having to use a lantern or anything to see?
No.
Okay.
I guess we had electricity.
What would happen if you fell and skinned your knee on the playground?
You'd cry about it.
So
They would get you and doctor it up.
so who did that? One of your teachers?
Yeah.
Okay. What I want people to see is they didn't have school nurses back then.
No.
You had to either take care of it yourself, just go wash it off, or the teacher took care of it. What were some of your rules at school?
Some of what?
Some of your rules. Did you have any rules? You can't do this, you can't do that?
Yeah, but I don't remember.
Well, could you chew gum in school?
Well, you better not.
Okay. Could you talk without raising your hand?
No.
Did you have to stand up when you asked a question of the teacher?
No.
Okay.
Just raise your hand.
All right. Did you ever get in a fight at school?
I didn't. Some of them did, but I didn't.
Did any of your brothers?
No.
Did you ever have to write on the blackboard, I will not talk, or so you were a good child?
No. I was too embarrassed.
So were you shy? Were you a shy child?
Yeah.
What was your favorite subject?
I don't think I had one, really.
Okay. What did you bring for lunch every day?
I guess a sandwich. Biscuit and sausage a lot of times. Not a sandwich. Biscuits and...
What did you bring it in? What
Had a little bucket.
was it, a syrup bucket?
Yeah, we had little special buckets.
Oh, okay. Did y'all have an end of year awards program?
No.
What was your daily routine? Do you remember what subjects came first from any class? And when you got to go to recess?
We didn't go from room to room for the classes.
You stayed in the same room? Well, did y'all call it recess?
Yeah.
Okay. What school did you attend after leaving Macedonia?
Well, I went to Mineola High School.
Okay. What grade did you go to Mineola? Do you remember what grade? Was it 9th grade?
Probably.
Well, how long did you attend Mineola?
I think I went one term.
And did you quit school early for some reason?
To get married.
Okay, that's what I was asking. To get married. And who did you marry?
Edna Johnson.
Okay. Where did y'all move to? Did you live here?
We lived with, I guess we lived with my parents.
Yeah.
Can I tell you when Elaine was born?
Sure.
She was born on Sunday, the day the Japanese hit Pearl Harbor.
Oh, wow. And your husband was gone, wasn't he?
No, not then.
Not then? Okay.
But he did go pretty quick after that.
Okay. All right. Well, do you remember how you got to Mineola School? Did
On the bus,
Okay.
the Mineola bus.
So Mineola had a bus.
Yeah.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
Brothers.
Okay. What were their names?
Well, Ernie, but I think he went, maybe, we went Henry,
Okay.
Thurman, and Gerald.
So you were the only girl.
Yep.
Did you have a sister that passed away, but you never knew her?
Well, she was between Ernie and Henry.
And what was her name? Ira.
Ira, I think.
How old was she when she died?
She was still a baby.
What did she die of?
I don't know.
I was thinking I heard diphtheria. Is that right?
A what?
Diphtheria?
That might have been it.
Okay. What was your father's occupation?
Farmer.
Did your mother work outside the home?
No.
Describe the Redland community. Was Redland a large community? Was there a lot of houses?
Not a lot of houses, but it was a big area that, kids all had to walk through.
Well,
A big area.
Do you know how many kids were in school at any one time? Was there 100?
Probably.
Okay. What was your house like?
My house.
Yes. How many rooms? Do you remember how many rooms your house had? Did it have more than 4? Did y'all have a dog run in between?
No.
Okay. Did you get water from the well at home?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember when you got water, or running water and electricity?
when they moved to town.
Okay, so at home you did not have running water and y'all didn't have electricity. Okay. Did you have a telephone?
No.
Where did you go to use the telephone if somebody needed to call the doctor?
Somebody went somewhere to call the doctor. Probably where we lived, probably went to Crow to
Okay.
call the doctor.
Was there a store in Crow?
Oh yeah, Crow at one time was a pretty good little town.
Right. Well, did they have a store here at Redland?
No.
Where did you go to church?
Here?
Here at Macedonia Church? Did y'all call it Macedonia Church or did you call it Redland?
Now that, just called it church.
Okay.
The whole church faced the school.
Okay. Did you live near any other relatives? Did you have a lot of relatives out here in this area?
No. They were all somewhere else.
So, Aunt Mamie, Aunt Mert, did they live out in this area? Or Granny?
Aunt Mamie lived between Redland and the highway.
So none of her...
They went to Crow School.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask, where they went to school. Well, what about your mother's parents? Did they live here?
No, I think they were died. She never talked about them, but I think they probably died. You remember years ago, reading about years ago when the, kind of like one that's coming through now. That,
Oh, a pandemic?
yeah,
Yeah.
come through. And I think that's when her
So-
parents died. She never did talk about them.
Okay. So they died of, what was that came through, Elaine?
Spanish flu.
The Spanish flu. I think they died of the flu.
That was in the 20s.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. What was the closest big town to you? Was it Mineola or Hawkins?
Crow had a pretty good town then.
Okay.
It had several stores around, gas stations, and so it was pretty not a big town, but
Well, how long did it take you to get to Crow?
I don't know.
Did y'all go by wagon or did your dad have a car?
By wagon.
When did your dad get a car? Do you remember?
I don't think my daddy ever got a car.
Okay. Did you go to Crow very often? Did y'all get to go to Crow very often?
I didn't. Now my daddy got in a wagon and went to Crow to get what we needed. You know, what house needed.
Well, what kind of things did you buy at the grocery store? Did he buy?
Flour, meal, just stuff like that.
So you provided
Coffee,
your own milk and bread.
yeah.
Okay.
How many of these things did you have?
Well, there's not, this other man gave me a few more questions. Did you like school?
No.
Okay. Do you remember seeing anybody get a whipping at school?
No.
Where'd y'all go to the restroom?
Way down yonder.
Well, where was the girls' outhouse?
The girls was on that side and the boys was on that side.
Okay. Did you learn any skills in school? Like, did you take home economics and learn how to cook?
Not in Redland.
Okay. What about homework? Did you have homework? Like schoolwork at home?
Not a whole lot.
Did you have chores to do when you got home?
Probably.
Did the community use the school for special events? Do y'all ever remember going to using the auditorium for any special gathering or anything?
No, I don't remember that. The trustees all met, I guess, at school, but I didn't know about that.
Well, do you remember any tragic or sad events occurring during your childhood?
One time,
What was that?
the bunch of kids was kind of down under the school steps, kind of on the hill. The kids were down in there, boys were down in there playing. I don't know what they were doing, but a tree, something fell on the boy, and it killed him.
This was during school?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think, how do you think your schooling compares with today's schooling? Do you think you got a better education, or what do you think about what you hear about today's schools versus your school?
I didn't think about that, I don't guess.
Yeah. How important was the school to your community?
How important?
Yeah. Was it an important place? Did everybody kind of, whatever was happening, everybody came to the school to see what was happening? If it was a play?
Yeah, well, some of the kids in school had a play. Well, when they had a play, or different play, the auditorium was full. They'd take that primary
Partition. Yeah. They take it down
Yeah.
and make room for the parents. And you were telling me that partition had places in it that there were holes in the floor, and they put that partition in those holes that had pegs that went in the holes, and that's how they made those walls stand up.
I said that.
Yeah, you were saying something about they put it in the holes.
Well, they had a thing like they have now, and they set the thing down in it.
Okay,
I
it would
think that's
it would
right.
lock together. What would you like people to remember or to know about these country schools?
I don't know.
You think these schools were important, or do you think, see, there's no country schools left very much. They're all big schools.
Yeah.
But were these important? Was this an important part of your life?
Well, yeah, because the only schools that we had to go to, I mean, we couldn't go to Mineola school.
Right, because you couldn't get there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Anything else you want to tell me about Macedonia School?
Well, we did have the kids did have a play, you know, sometime around Christmas or something like that.
Yeah. Well, you said none of these kids were in your class, but those girls all have hats on. What are those hats? What are they called?
Tam, the hats were called Tams.
Well,
This was the class.
why did they have those hats on?
Huh?
Why did they have the hats on?
'Cause they wore them to school.
They were
To keep
just
the head warm.
they were just popular.
Huh?
They were just popular at that time.
Yeah, they were popular.
Show the camera. Hold it up. Turn it around, and you can see what she's talking about. I thought it was some type of a club because they all had the hats on. She said, "Oh no, those are Tams."
This was a class, I think. Maybe the whole.
I
maybe
think-
2 classes.
Yeah, I think you said those kids were older than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This is my brother. This is Henry.
Oh, okay. Oh, they were older than you.
And this was his class.
Okay, all right. Well, what about these kids? I think you said those were younger than you.
Yeah, I don't know them.
Well, hold that one up and show them what they got after you got out of school. They got a swing set and seesaws. And she did not have those when she was in school.
Where did you get this picture?
I think it was in your stuff. So either that or from Doris Foster Box. She had a bunch of pictures also of Redland. She still lives over by Gentry Cemetery.